folks, Dr. Groovy Scott Grove of GroovyMusicLessons.com. That is a guitar tuned normally, okay? So, standard tuning. Now what we're going to work on is DADGAD sounding stuff. DADGAD is simply tune your guitar from lowest to highest, D-A-D, G-A-D. Very cool. I suggest you go work on it. But that's not what we're doing. We're doing a fake version of that today. Okay, I was playing the Dulcimer and I got thinking, that's basically what I have right here is a DADGAD instrument, or dadgum instrument. So I applied it to the guitar, and it makes it cool that you can go in and out of the two different styles of thinking within the same song and not have to change tunings. Okay, you're not going to get the full DADGAD tuning sound, but you're going to get so much of it that it's not, let's say, passable, but that it's actually very effective and makes you play different. I played different there than I normally do for anybody that ever has seen me. And it's all, again, around this Dulcimer deal. What the hell is a Dulcimer deal? It's something about like that. Buy that. Okay, so let's see what the hell's going on here. Okay, a Dulcimer has 4 strings or 3, but they're tuned D, A, D. Okay, Dad. There's no G here to be done, but you got a G on your guitar, so you're all good to go. Okay, Dulcimer has this droning A string. We have a low one. Okay, so we're going to make do, and we're going to just let our low A string drone. Okay, and yes, we can go and change keys or chords whenever you care to. Right then, I was just simply giving you the very basics and sticking around in one key. I did switch to D for a second, but I was actually, no, I was in D the whole time, I think. Yeah. But what we have is these D strings here and here are the ones that make the melody. Okay? So, shall it be on the guitar? We're going to be taking our G string that is part of the DADGAD thing. We're going to replace that by taking it and playing it at the 7th fret on the G string to get our D note on the guitar. Okay, so we're going to have that droning low A string, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Just act like you're strumming and it'll keep on strumming away. And that A just... and then we have this D note that we can fiddle with and bring it all around. So it's like a... Okay. The thing about these is, number one, they sound cool. Hear like they do. If you like that, yeah. If you don't, then it sounds cooler on guitar, actually. The thing is a lot of instruments have this type of a fingerboard on them, or fretboard. They have a fret like it's missing. And they do that so you can't miss a note. They're basically almost impossible to make these things sound bad. It's like the strum stick, if you're familiar with the McNally strum stick. Same way, and same tuning. Same entire thing, basically. Somebody should sue them people. Okay, so again, we're going to be taking that D note on our guitar that's at the 7th fret, and we're going to take it up 2 frets. Why? Because there's a fret missing here. So we automatically have to go on our guitar by the rules of the Dulcimer. So we go up 2 frets. Okay, we start at the D, we go up 2 frets. Then we go up 2 frets more. Then look, we got a regular one. Yay, 1 fret. Okay, so it's 2, 2, 1. Okay, remember that. You have to go 2, you have to go 1, you have to go 2, you have to go 2, and it just, they actually added this one recently. They didn't used to have this one. It's called the 6.5 fret. But so they give you the option of doing a major 7 or a dominant 7th now. But it was actually, so 2 frets, 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 2 fret, 1 fret. Okay, that's what they used to do with it, but now it's a whole new deal. So that's what we'll be concentrating on, is going 2 frets, 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 2 frets. So keep that in mind. Okay, again, you have this A droning. We have the D. So you see how goofy that sounds like that, but before, sounds fine and dandy. Okay, is everything of ours going to sound like yippee, yippee, yay, yippee, hi-yo? No, not like that. It will sound something like that, but the hi-yos won't be there. Okay, so the instructions on how to play an A string. You go down that way, okay? Generally it's going to be the way you're hitting it. Oh man, if you strum up and down, you might hit it on the way back up. Okay, now let's do our D note on the G string, 7th fret. And we're going to use the top of our finger to magically shut our D string the hell up. Why would we want to shut up our D string if it's a DADGAD tuning? Because we use that in a little bit to play a G. I know, we got to use one string to make another one happen, because that's the only way it can really work well on here. It's just the only way I've found so far. If you find another way, hey, other than retuning it, please make me a video, because I'm digging it. So you're playing your A string and your D note. You're like, what? Yeah, that's a 4th. That D note is a 4th of the A. You want to hear the 3rd. That's what your ear wants you to hear until I play this for you, and then your ear will hear the other thing going on. So we have the A. Here's our D, which is open, basically, as we're going to be thinking about it now, like it was on the Dulcimer. We have to go up 2, up 2, up 1, up 2, up 2, up 1. Okay, so we go up 2, up 2, up 1, up 2, up 2, up 2, up 1. Okay, we need to worry about probably all the way up to the 14th fret, up to the A. So we have an A string, and this one ends up at A finally, but we start in the middle at the D, because it's DAD. There's D, there's A, there's D. We don't have a second D other than open string, which is what we are doing already. It would do us no good to go. Okay. You can do it as we're playing other chords. You can add that D string in all you want and make it anything else you want. You still have a regular guitar in your hand. Don't ever forget that. But let's learn this. Okay, again, up 2, up 2, up 1, and then finally up 2. There's A and A. If you got a cutaway, you can maybe get up to 16 and do that one. Okay, so that's what you're going to be thinking about. Now we have to get along with this real quick. Below here, you'll see a link for Keith Urban. It's one of his groovy hits. He plays on a 6-string banjo, and the whole song is in DADGAD though. But he sits there and plays the 6-string banjo just so he can get away with doing that part. But so many of his songs are in this key. We don't want you to. It will sound like every song you're doing is a Keith Urban song if you play on DADGAD all day long. But you could probably play a whole lot of them by doing it just this way. So yeah, go click on the tune and listen how it's done, and it's going to sound like a lot of what you're doing. Playing that same lick, it's called Somebody Like You is the name of the song. If we do the same lick and actually just play like the D string, and going back behind the D string once. Yes, I'm getting back to everything else in a second. Okay, going 7, hammer on, 6 to 7, hammer on. Okay, 9, back to 7. Da, 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 da. Okay, then. Okay, that's 9, 9, 9, 11, 12, 7. So. Now that, the reason I really want you to do that, and the reason I have the link to that Somebody Like You, is because it gives you a real insight to the type of song that this really lends itself to. Okay, some of the picking and stuff I was doing. It's hard not to play the Keith Urban thing right in the middle of everything. Just a lot of it sounds like that, but it gets you in that particular groove. Okay, so that was doing it with the D string droning. Now the odd thing is that you do the same thing, but with your A string droning. Okay, now you get to play this and play 2 strings at the same time, but the D string will oddly enough not be there. So try it now the same way, but playing the A string and the G string. It'll sound funky to you because we just got out of playing all this D stuff. So get this in your head. Maybe use your fingers like this. Just skip the D string. There, I played on the D string. See, now we can use our D string. normally get into your headspace when you're playing DADGAD. You'll come up with stuff like that. And your chords will start sounding like, take an E chord and then move it up to the 7th fret. Those are DADGAD sounding chords. But you're going to be playing this stuff. Also, if you actually tuned DADGAD. But try to keep the A thing as being your deal, right? That's your droning string. See, it doesn't sound like you're in D. I mean, you're just sitting there cramming everything around this D. Everything you're doing is around D, and you have this A in the bass, okay, which is normal. D chord. Okay, because it's naturally there. So don't think it's wrong to be doing this. Stop touching yourself. Okay. Flashback, sorry. So that is a lot of it. Throw it all the way down to D and do the same thing, and you're already covered. You have the same type things going. Same rules, but before we talked ourselves into letting that A be the droning thing, and that's what you want. You want some kind of weird droning note, and A gets to be one of them if you choose to go about the actual DADGAD rules. Okay, that you have to have a droning A thing, the droning D. You can have the A now. Two frets, 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, 2 frets, 1 fret. Okay, see what works for you. But you'll find a whole different way to play this stuff now, or you'll be in, like I said, it's a different mindset. You're not actually learning anything new. You're getting in a different mindset. Okay, from these 2 and 1 up thing. Back 1. Don't that sound weird now? And that's a regular major third, and it sounds weird now. I told you it would sound weird. It's like we're going back 1 fret. It's like, that sounds right. Not that. But that's the right way. Okay. Told you, it sounds goofy once you start getting this DADGAD in your head. Okay, but now we're going to be here in D again. Back 1. Back 2. Back 2. The rules of the Dulcimer again. Okay? Up 2. Up 2. Up 1. Up 2. Now back the other way. Back to 1, 2, 2. When we went open, that's a G. You can throw the G in because we have DADGAD. So if you want to throw that G note in, it makes for some weird stuff, but again, it solidifies the DADGAD sound. So, yeah. Okay. If we were to actually actually have the D string right here and ready and open. So we got A, droning, we have a D. Okay, so if you take those strings, A, D, G, that's the GAD part of it. We just don't have the luxury of having a G that's a lot higher. Wait, yeah we do, we're a guitar player. Our guitar is normal, we can play a normal flippin' G. So we can play our A, we can play that, a D, we can play another D, we can play a G. See, it's like a suspended fourth. You want to take it back one fret. And you can when you're tuned like us. Ooh, hey, did you hear that? No learning curve. Okay, so that's also a cool thing, is you have all this information in your head now that is just, okay, I'm playing a basic major scale. That's all you're doing. But with the fifth of the chord in the bass, okay, so it's like, okay, I'm actually playing in D, but it sounds like I'm playing in A, but you're actually playing in D. You're just playing the fifth as the bass note. Okay, so very odd. I'm sorry, and the bass, and your major scale. Okay, all the way down. And don't be afraid now to do what I did automatically, and it really changed things up for me, is while you're thinking of all this, it's like, what else? What does this remind me of? And it reminded me of, on lower strings of course now, no, don't do it. No! Yeah, that stuff. So, if you're playing the A, and you want to go ahead and toss in this whole A thing, and actually make it go into A instead of a droning A thing going on and playing in D, you can simply do what you've done forever, but it fits great into intertwining into this, which is doing your little A root third thing. So you're at the 7th fret and the 6th fret on the D and G, along with your A string. Okay, and then bring it up to 9 and 7, and then 11 and 9. Okay. Okay, so that would have been doing this kind of junk, but that's what climbed in my head. It climbed up in there, and but it got me to thinking. How did I come up with the strumming part? Just from hearing a lot of Keith Urban stuff, and with that tone of, or that inspiration from the DADGAD sound of this Dulcimer, just got me thinking of Keith and his rhythmic patterns. A lot of them just sound that way when they're being played with these kind of voicings. again. Okay, so again, you're thinking of up two, up one. Okay, because you gotta have to mix it up here because you're getting into your chords. So we go up two, up one, up two, then put our pinky down. Okay, so that's what you're thinking. And if you go backwards, then back one, okay, backwards two, because we go one, then two and two going backwards, because we're like, this is the nut in the middle of the dulcimer thing. So again, up two, up one, and then back one, back two, because it's like we're going up two, up one to get where we're at. So you just play those backward the opposite way. So back two, back two. Sorry, back one, back two, and then two. Okay, so now you have all that. Okay, so all of this, if you're thinking in a different frame of mind, because you wouldn't play all that stuff probably in any other situation unless you were in a different mind state. Okay, so it's this whole okay, not to mention, just go right to the D string while you're playing the A. Play it just like you did the D stuff. When you're starting on the D note, start it on the A note. That's what you're basically doing with the, you were doing basically both of them at the same time. But think of them separately. Think, hey, I'm in A, I can go ahead and do this. I just went to E because I'm allowed to, I'm on guitar. Okay? You don't have a low E string in DADGAD. Okay, so you're mixing it up. See, now that's pretty. Okay, so keep those little things in mind. And again, your those chords, put those in here too, over top of your open strings. That's with the E ringing, with the A ringing. But you're thinking of up two, up one, up two. And backward, don't forget. Go back one. Go back two. And then back two. Okay? You can get all kinds of Johnny Cougar stuff. There it is. So take all that with you and enjoy yourself. Again, the D string, don't forget you have it, and the G for the GAD, okay? And remember, when you get up here to the D string and you start playing D here, and if you go down to play the, don't forget those, okay? The fact that they're just simply fingered different. If you don't know how to play them, there's what it looks like. Okay? Because they sound really groovy in there too. Once again, don't forget to go check out Keith Urban with the link right below. Know that it is in E though. So you're taking unison E's. Play that. Play it, play it, play it. Okay, I'm going to do this instead of cutting away. Anyway, so play the urban tune, listen to it, play it again, and think of all this stuff. Play it here, play it with the D string. With the D string droning. Play it with the A string droning. It'll have to get out of your head because right now it sounds very regular tuning, because it is. Remember before when everything sounded weird and wrong, going back to this note? Okay, now it sounds perfect, but now we got A string and use the suspended. So now if we play that urban song with the A string and use the D note or the G string to, it sounds weird. Okay, but it's not. It'll get in your head a little bit, again using the A string and the G string, but using where your D is. And play that whole thing right there a few times just to get this entire process drilled into your brain. Something has to do that. And for some reason, that song drills it in your brain like that. And listen to the tune. It's just, like I said, it's the perfect song to get this DADGAD sound in your noggin. Okay? And again, the slow stuff. Get on it. Okay, do the slow things using the A in the bass, or with the D in the bass and using your typical guitar licks that you already know. Try to work the two together in your brain. Try to definitely shift over to DADGAD thinking mode and playing mode when you wish to. You're like, well, it's all just guitar. It's like, but it's not. You really do play different. If you tune your guitar to DADGAD, go on YouTube here, learn from somebody real quick how to play it. It doesn't take any time at all. And you'll see real quick how weird and spacey everything sounds. It's ethereal, it's just a mood thing, and you'll realize how all this slow stuff just creeps in there, and weird bass notes start to show up that you've never played before. And it's a cool experience that way, but learn to keep them separate while you're playing guitar, and learn how to put them together again, so you can have just a whole different experience playing guitar on those tunes that you care to have an experience on. I'm trying to tell you how to learn. Okay, I guess that's kind of my job. Okay, you guys stay cool. I'm going to go play with my beard. Why? It's my friend. It's my Furby. It's my mantra. My precious. You guys take care. Bye-bye.